this track. It's so bumpy. I don't know if this footage is going to be any good, and I don't want to go too quick because I'm worried about the camera falling off. But now I'm away to do a bit of stealth camping, wild camping, whatever you want to call it. A bit of a kind of dry run bug out. Just a bit of fun really, but I thought I'd film it. I go pretty deep into the woods, nowhere around here. This is just a little track on the way in. This road is bumpy as hell. With the load on the back I've got to watch out for. Just came across these blackberry bushes all the way around here, all there. So I've done a little bit of foraging. Good dessert for tonight. There's plenty more in here. I might pick a few more in a minute. Just put the lid on these and drop them out. But sorry about the shaky camera work. Also up on these logs I found what I guess are badger claw marks. Which is interesting. Nice to know there's a set round here. Be lucky if I can spot some. More claw marks on the back there. Guess searching for little insects and things in the wood to eat. Hey YouTube, I'm just out on a camping trip, a kind of, you know, practice bug out type thing. Basically just a normal camping trip, but you could take it as a practice bug out, and I thought I'd film it. I don't normally bother bringing the camera because it takes up a lot of space on the bike. I had a bit of trouble loading everything into the pannier because a lot of my food I normally put in that front bag there, but that was pretty much all used up with the camera. I still got a few bits in there, but yeah, well that's my load for the next couple of days in there. Myself out in the woods here, quite a nice spot, quite hidden from view from anyone. No branches above me really that look like they're going to fall down anyway, quite thick branches. I'm reasonably near a road from here, but the road's over there. You can see it's quite far away and no one's going to spot me. Anyway, I'm going to set up my gear and then I'll get back to you. Now I did a video a couple of years ago, well about 3 years ago now, of my initial bug out bag, and it was ridiculously overloaded and I got some criticism for it, rightfully so. So I've really streamlined it now, and I've basically everything that I would take on my bug out I've had on the bike today. Now I probably should have done this video before unloading everything, but I was just, you know, eager to get the camp set up. You know, it's like you get excited when you get out here. But on top here I had the tent, sleeping bag and the camping mattress, like inflatable mattress, strapped on the top. A couple of 750ml bottles in these pouches on the back of the bike here. In these pockets here there's 4 separate pockets on each side. No, sorry, 2 on each side, 4 together. And I basically just threw whatever I could in those, you know, food everywhere, you know, bath kit, you know, towel and toothbrush and toothpaste, toilet rolls bunched up, camping stove, gas cylinder for it, cooking equipment, my knife obviously, a little first aid kit, little emergency whistle in here. A little personal alarm that I'm going to hook up to the bike because I'm paranoid about someone coming along and stealing it in the night. Another bottle of water here, the bike toolkit in there, and in the front here I would have had even more food, but I had to stuff all that in the back to fit the camera in here. I still got a bit of food in there, but yeah, and that's pretty much my bug out load. My new bug out bike, well, my new bike in general. I did a video on my old bike a few years ago, and that was hellish to ride. It was so difficult to ride. This one is so, I mean, especially with the load on the back. I mean, the other one was terrible, but this is so smooth to ride. Now all these bags are easy to take off. This one here is held on with carabiner clips. This one here has just got Velcro straps you undo to pull it off. This one here has a clip on the back to come off. Now if you keep your vital stuff in the front here, if you do need to, you know, if I had to ditch the bike, I could just easily unclip this, throw it over my shoulder, and even though I will have lost quite a bit of stuff, like I still have enough in here to survive. I always make sure I've got the essentials in here, you know, some food, some water, ways to make fire, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the bug out bike set up. Now call me paranoid, but whenever I'm out here I always like to set up an alarm. I've got one of those little rape alarms that I tie around the wheel there, and then set up down here with a few twigs, so if anyone grabs the bike and tries to pull it away, in the night, hopefully that'll wake me up and I can jump out and hopefully surprise whoever's trying to steal it. It's unlikely, I know, but I just, you know, get a bit paranoid about it, I guess. Always got a D-lock on the wheel, so that would make it difficult for them to wheel it away as well. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that little trap I built. And those I don't see many people with little rape alarms like that in their kit, but they are actually really useful for setting up alarms on doors and on things that you're worried about being stolen. Anyway, ta-ta for now. Just gathering potential firewood at the minute, just in case I do want to start a fire later on if it gets too cool. And I'm putting the wood here in a sunny spot to try and dry it out, because last night it was raining quite heavily, so everything's damp and sodden, which is a sodden nuisance. But ideally I don't really want to start a fire anyway, because I don't have permission to be out here, so I don't want to draw attention to myself unnecessarily, and it's, you know, just good practice in being kind of covert in these situations anyway. But I mean, even if the landowners do catch me, I think they're probably more likely to be peeved at me if I'm starting fires than they are if they just see me camping out here. But like I say, I don't think they will catch me, because I'm quite deep here. Don't even know who the landowners are. But yeah, I bought my gas stove and that with me. It's just if it gets too cold tonight, I want to start a fire. I just played back the last video I made, and I noticed that I cut my head out for most of it, but I can't bother to go back and make another one, so I'll have to do for now. Right, me again. This is my campsite I've set up. It's just a cheap little tent I got with me. I've got a better tent, a really good tent, but it's a 3-man one, which was great when I was with my ex coming out here, but now it's just me on my own. It's not worth the effort of bringing it, because it weighs, well, a reasonable amount. It's quite big to fit on the bike or on my back, so I just got this little 2-man one, which you know, isn't something I'd want to go camping up Mount Everest in, but it's fine just for me on my own. No condensation inside, which is a rarity, because even on that the good tent I've got, it used to get quite a bit of condensation inside in the morning, so I was impressed with that. But yes, I mean, this one's pretty much lightweight. I mean, it weighs nothing, so it's fine just for coming out in the woods like this and staying in. Anyway, yeah, this is the first time I've brought my camera out with me camping, and it's kind of fun making these videos, but at the same time I do kind of wonder what to do, because I've had people request me to do more videos and that, but there are so many people on YouTube doing outdoor videos. I mean, there are literally thousands of people doing videos of lighting fires or building shelters, and I kind of think, you know, is there really any point me adding to the mix? What can I add? I mean, there are people out there far more adept at it than I am doing these videos, but then if I don't do that, what do I actually do? It's probably quite boring just seeing me kind of babble on about, oh well, I'm camping. But you know, because I have done some bushcraft courses, not many, but I've done a few, so I know the basics. I mean, I know how to build a shelter, even though I prefer having a tent, to be honest. Especially in England, where the weather's quite predictable, I want to have shelter all around me. I don't just want, you know, a sort of a tarp over the top of me between 2 trees or whatever. And building a proper shelter out of wood and that, you know, it's a lot of effort and it takes a lot of courage. It's fun to do, to be honest, but you know, call me a ponce, but I just feel more comfortable in a tent. I'd much rather have a tent with me all the time when I'm out. So yeah, I've set up camp here, and it's quite a nice tranquil spot. Now a lot of people think, you know, because one of my bug out options is to come out here, people think that I'm just going to kind of, at the slightest sign of trouble, run out here Rambo style and sort of live off the land and eat things that would make a billy goat puke or whatever. But it's not like that at all. It's, you know, it would pretty much be a last ditch thing, and it would only be for the sake of a few days. I'm not thinking I'm going to come and live out here indefinitely. You know, I'll just, you know, for a few days till the heat dies down, whatever the problem is, or even just to get my shit together, and decide what I am going to do next, so I can get away from everything, just chill out here, get my thoughts together. So yeah, it's not, I don't, personally I don't think it's as silly as idea as a lot of people like to make out, because it's, you know, it's almost just like going on a little camping trip for a few days, while there might be issues around where you live. Now I've been watching these doomsday prepper shows as well, which I really enjoy, but at the same time I think some people are worried that gives a bit of an odd impression of preppers. And in a way I think the UK, the American one's Doomsday Preppers, and there's Doomsday Castle and Apocalypse 101. There's a UK one just called UK Preppers. There's only been 2 episodes of that because there just aren't as many preppers in the UK. And in a way that show is a more realistic look at preppers, because in the UK show you haven't got people massing thousands of guns or buying big compounds or you know, getting their kids dressed up in gas masks and chemical suits and doing drills every weekend, which is, you know, probably the rarer side of prepping, you know. And in the UK show just shows a bit more of a down-to-earth look at preppers, though at the same time it has a more patronising tone. In the UK version, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but the music in the background is always this kind of doop 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 type, you know, music, as if, oh, look at these silly people, you know, these eccentrics up to no nonsense. Whereas the American one has you know, sort of a bit more of a serious tone, at least in the music. And I guess you don't know what. I mean, I've been involved with a TV show before where there was this kind of behind-the-scenes type reality thing. And it's so manipulated. The producers will take people aside and say, oh, can you just, you know, cause an argument here or something to make things more exciting. So you don't know how much of what you see in the American preppers shows is orchestrated by the producers just to make it seem more exciting. Because the American one is more exciting than the English one to watch. It's a lot more fun to watch. Even I think, like I say, the English one's probably a bit more of a down-to-earth look at preppers. So anyway, I came out here and I bought this knife with me. Now, I'd just bring my Mora clipper. Actually, this is the first time I brought my companion out with me, and sort of my replacement for the clipper, and my tool Logic. But I got to admit, I have no practical use for this knife. I have no business with this knife out here, but I saw it cheap. It was like £8, and I just thought it looked cool, to be honest. You know, you got to have fun with these things. I think we've all, no matter how seriously you try and take it, we've all just bought things like this because we think it looks cool, and I have done that. It is actually quite a fun knife for throwing because the blade is heavier than the handle, so it makes quite a good throwing knife. Though the handle did crack a little bit, only ever so slightly, like it's not even a centimetre's crack, but I guess it's to be expected from an £8 knife. But also I found out that the end here comes off and there's just a little nut you can unscrew, and this is advertised as a full tang knife, which is a bit of a cheat because the tang actually only comes down to about here, and then the rest of the tang is a thin bit of metal that's been soldered on, so I don't count that as full tang, that's cheating. And then it's just screwed on at the end. But it would be quite fun actually to take this bit off the end here and maybe make a wooden handle to slide on there. So you could have fun modifying this as well. But yeah, a bit of Rambo style. It's probably the biggest knife I've got now is this Bowie knife. Because like I say, I have no practical use for a knife like this, to be honest. And the funny thing is, most people, if you were to show them these two knives, they're going to think this is the hardcore knife, this is the proper knife, this is the outdoorsman's knife. This just looks like a little kitchen knife, whereas, ironically, of course, this is a far superior knife and a far more practical knife, especially out here, in England. You don't need something like this. So, yeah, still, it's fun to play around with. Anyway, I don't know if I've got really much more to say. I did build a little fire last night, but only more for fun than anything, because it just it feels like what you're supposed to do if you go camping. You've got to build a fire, but I didn't want a too big a one because I didn't want to potentially give away my position, just in case someone spots me and thinks I shouldn't be here. And like I said, I had my little gas cooker with me, one of those bits that just screws on the end there. So I've just been using that to cook my food. But yeah, I just haven't been doing a bit of knife throwing practice really, and just enjoying being out here. Anyway, I know it's probably been a bit boring to listen to, just me jabbering on a few of my thoughts while I'm out here. But yeah, if anyone has got any suggestions of stuff they'd like to see me do in videos, let me know, and maybe I'll do it next time out here. just thought I'd go through my kit I've brought with me, which is basically a revised bug out kit. I'll start off with, I've got my little radio there, solar powered radio. It's handy to have just for entertainment and to keep track of what's going on. Phone obviously, little first aid kit there. Food, various different food I've brought with me. I've eaten quite a lot of it, and that's what's left. Bought water bottle. I've got 4 litres of water with me, 2 of which I've still left on the pannier on the bike outside. Got this little cooking pot. Fold that there, little saucepan. I got that with a Campart cook set. It's a really nice set, but this tends to be the bit I use the most. Spork, knife sharpener, gas stove. The top bit's in there. Quite tight. I'm not going to get that out, but you know what those look like anyway. Waterproof match container, which also doubles as a whistle, and compass, more food, toilet roll, another bottle of water. Got my toiletries in here. Basically I had a microfiber towel in there that I've taken out now. It's over here. Just a little tube of toothpaste and a little toothbrush. And I bought my night vision monocular with me this time as well, just for shits and giggles really. Although obviously it does have practical purposes. It was mainly just for fun. I bought it this weekend. It's not, I wouldn't say that was an essential in my pack. I had some glow sticks with me as well. I let off one of those last night just to light up the tent in the evening. Obviously, sleeping bag, inflatable mat. Under there I've got inflatable pillow, and the tent itself, and that's pretty much my kit now. Oh, and also on my person I keep, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I got my Mora knife. I always keep on me, a little flashlight here, which is on a cord there, so if it falls out of my pocket I'm not going to lose it. But there's a little clip kind of halfway along, so if I need to take that off there easily and pick it up I can. And then in this pocket I've got, I always keep my backup knife. It's my little Tool Logic, which also has a fire starter on it and a whistle too. So yeah, it probably doesn't seem like much, but I mean that's really all I need to get me through a few days out here, and especially to fit on the bike. Anything more than that's just not really going to fit. I mean, as I said before, that bag there is pretty much taken up with my camera and tripod when I'm making videos, but that would be a bit of extra room, but I'd probably just use that for extra food really, and water, because they're the essentials. I can boil the water. I've got water purification tablets in the first aid kit as well, so I've got 2 ways of purifying water. I've got 3 different ways of making fire, so I've got a lighter I brought with me as well, which I always keep on in my bike kit anyway. I've got a little bike tool kit and puncture repair kit and all that on the bike, and a pump, which are mainly just for the bike, but I mean the tool kit that comes with it can be used for other things, so that's pretty much got me covered really. Now the only thing I didn't bring with me that I would have in a bug out scenario is my air rifle, because it's just not worth the hassle if someone sees me wandering around with it and they think it's a real gun, and then the next thing I know I've got an armed response unit taking pot shots at me. But yeah, everything else that I would take in a bug out I've got with me here. And also I forgot to mention some of the more boring things. I mean, I carry a couple of spare pairs of socks with me, and a rain poncho as well. Because socks especially, I think I get really uncomfortable once I've had a pair of socks on for a day or two. They get a bit wet, it's all grubby or whatever. But yeah, this is the contents of the first aid kit. Got loads of different size plasters in there, a couple of different size bandages, got sterile field dressing there, triangular bandage, super glue, which as well as fixing me up, I can use that to fix up the bag or the bike if I need to. Water purification tablets there and there, some Pandol Extra, find they're the best pain relief tablets that I've had before, rubber gloves, some what do you call them, cleansing wipes, and a load of safety pins. Probably could do more of those cleansing wipes because they're handy just to wash your hands in general rather than wasting water, which I tend to do when I wash my hands. Just got some noodles on at the minute, waiting for that to start to boil up. And I find that one pack of these super noodles actually lasts me for about 2 meals really. I usually snap them in half. There's enough of the flavouring in there for 2 loads as well. So they're pretty good. I bought a load of vegetables with me. I've still got some in there. These clip and lock tubs are really handy, keep your stuff fresh. I bought just loads of chopped up fruit and vegetables with me, and I bought a tin of tuna and that, so I had to stir fry last night before bed. See in the background there, I had a little fire, not too big, just enough to warm me up a little bit and light up the night for a while. Another thing with my kit, also forgot to mention earlier, is one of those little fold up trowels. I mean, that's only pound out of Poundland. I remember seeing them in there a couple of years ago and kicking myself for not getting any, and then last year they didn't have any in for some reason, not in the one local to me, and I was gutted, but saw them in there this year and bought a load of them that I've put in different kits, and I've put one in my work bag, and that they're really handy, really sturdy, quite a sharp edge to them, so you can really cut through roots when you're digging. The only thing with it is it didn't come with a little pouch, which, you know, can't say I'm too bothered with. That would have been a nice little extra, just to keep it from damaging other things in your pack, or, you know, keep it from dirtying up your inside of your bag. How are these getting on? It takes a while. I mean, this is why I like bringing the gas stove with me, because on a fire this would take even longer, as well as a fire, as I said before, potentially giving away my position in that. I just haven't got the patience for cooking over a fire, to be honest, even though I do it sometimes, just for the experience of it, because it's part of the kind of camping experience really. Nice thing about this saucepan is that it doesn't stain at all on the bottom, which is really nice. A lot of pots you use, I don't know if it's aluminium or something, but a lot of pots you use, they stain really badly, but whatever material that is made of, it keeps really nice and clean, which appeals to me. I'm now about to get going home. I've just packed up all my stuff, but I thought I'd take some footage of the scenery around here, because it really is quite beautiful. Though you can never really capture how nice it looks on film, I don't think, but I'll give it a go. Beautiful English woodland. Another thing down this road is there are quite a lot of old bottles and Coke cans and beer cans or whatever, and as much as that irritates me that people keep littering down here, that could be useful if I desperately needed a bottle to gather water in, or a metal tin to boil the water in and purify it. So every cloud, I guess. I feel a bit like Bruce Banner walking down here with my bag over my shoulder. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. More blackberries there. It's nice to know there are some closer to where I've been camping. Those ones I initially found were a good mile away from here or more, so I mean, blackberries are pretty much everywhere in the British countryside, I guess. See how nice it is down here. Not much traffic at all comes down this road. It's pretty kind of backwaters area. Anyway, that's the end of my trip for now, so thanks for watching.